PSA, I will be interviewing two people who are very close to me and asking them questions about HIV/AIDS. First, I will be interviewing my friend Amanda, who is a sophomore psychology major at Ramapo. Amanda, for the first question, what do you think that HIV stands for, and what do you think it does to the body?
When it comes to what it stands for, I'm not entirely sure because I've just heard it used as like the acronym HIV. And then what it does to your body, I would assume that the HIV virus just takes over your cells and kills them off until you have like no healthy cells left.
That's absolutely right, Amanda. HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus, and it makes the body weak and unable to fight off disease, which is why it usually ends in terminal illness. So, for the next question, how do you think HIV is spread?
I think it's spread it's like a sexually transmitted disease, and then I've also heard that it can like transfer through blood.
Yes, that's exactly right. It can be transferred from sexual fluids into open wounds, or from like mother to child through breastfeeding. So for the final question, what do you think that the major groups of people who are affected by HIV/AIDS in America are? What do you think the one major group is?
I would just going off the bat, I would assume that it would be like a minority group of some sort, maybe like statistic-wise, like probably African Americans, but I don't know.
That's right, actually. The highest population of people who have HIV/AIDS in America are men who have sex with men, and the majority of the population of those individuals are African American. So thank you for your time, and thank you for allowing me to interview you, and yes, I'm glad that you now know more about HIV/AIDS.
I'm glad too.
Friends, this is my second part of the interview for my public safety announcement. So, this is my mother, and she's a licensed marriage family therapist and a graduate of Ramapo, and also my mother. She does not know the questions ahead of time, but I will be asking her questions from a therapist point of view about HIV/AIDS in America. So, Mom, do you think that people can work on lessening their stigma around the groups of people with HIV/AIDS, and how would that be?
I do think people can work on reducing their stigma, and it's to be more open-minded and maybe to be educated about the humanity of all people, and to work on being less judgmental and more open-minded and open-hearted.
That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What can homosexual people with HIV/AIDS in America do to fight the discrimination that they are subjected to?
Keep advocating for themselves and keep just being who they are in the community, and hopefully, things are changing. Stigma is changing a lot around homosexual population, which is great, and I think it will just continue to do so.
That's wonderful. I completely agree.
Okay.
Last question is, how do you think counselors can best help people with HIV/AIDS who are homosexual and facing discrimination?
I think to help them reduce their own anxiety around what's to come and shame they may feel around, having these conditions to deal with, and helping people just work on their self-esteem in general.
Thank you so much.
HIV/AIDS is a terrible virus that has negatively affected so many people around the world. It has brought about so much emotional and physical suffering to innocent people. Also, it causes people to be discriminated against and stigma to be formed around certain groups of people. I hope that globally the treatment and care for people living with HIV/AIDS improves and that education about the topic is more widespread. Personally, I hope to make an impact in my community by educating as many people as I can about HIV prevention. I feel so lucky to be a healthy individual, and I feel nothing but empathetic for the people who are infected with this terrible virus. However, I have really enjoyed taking this class and learning about everything there is to know about HIV/AIDS. Thank you for watching my presentation.